Are you simply having trouble trying to get past the new floor in Roblox Doors? Especially door 150, dealing with all those annoying grumbles. I mean, floor 2 is very different compared to the others, especially with the difficulty being ramped up. We'll be going over 5 pro survival tips so you can easily beat Doors floor 2. Like and subscribe for more, and it's time to turn you into a pro. Number 1, looting strategy. Compared to Roblox Doors Floor 1, where there wasn't really much for looting, especially during the beginning of the game, Floor 2 is a very different concept. Within the mines, players can notice many different shapes of lockers and toolboxes being littered around. It encourages players to look around more in order to get items. Open as many unlabeled rooms as you can, and you may find a secret room holding shears, which will help grant you powerful items. Also, when you encounter the Hulk entity, there are 2 major loot boxes to look for within his mini-game. Now, it's pretty obvious that looting will help you gain more powerful items, and that will make the run easier, but you really shouldn't rush Floor 2, especially if you're going empty-handed. Number 2, figure strategies. At this point, you should be able to make it to figure no problem, but you still have to get past the entity. Luckily, you do have a couple tools that you can use within your arsenal. Many pros can just sneak by him no problem, hugging by the wall for protection, but one thing you can use is the light stick in order to lure him away from you. He'll just get angry and stomp around quite a bit, which is funny. Do not turn on any flashlights, laser pointers, or lighters because the entity can hear these devices running in the background and come to chase you. So even if you're in a dark room, do not use the items. You also have to keep an eye out for Figure's new path AI, as the entity is smarter than before and loves to hog walls as he walks around. Just crouch, use the glow sticks, and get past him no problem. Number 3, seek chases. The seek chases are relatively straightforward and simple back in Floor 1, but in Floor 2, they do get a bit more complicated. Adding onto the normal controls, you really have to make sure you jump towards the end of the frame. If you end up jumping too early, you will fall down and lose to seek. Really time your jumps pretty close to the last second in order to guarantee that you will make them. Follow the guiding light's blue sparkles as it will help you where to go. As for the minecart portion, you will have to rely on the guiding light and work on your hand-eye coordination to input the timings faster. There will be arrows that may help you steer on the right path, however. For the last seek chase though, this one will be entirely on foot and will feature a chase that will mainly go straight for a bit before branching into a difficult maze part. Again, follow the guiding light and quickly flick your camera in order to find the correct way if need be, because if you do die in the last seek chase, there is no chance for reviving. Number 4, door 150. Ah yes, here we go with the room that everyone is having trouble with at the moment, door 150. First, if you haven't noticed from my previous videos, the radar on top of the computer will help you pinpoint in which direction the anchor is in. Also, make sure you can hear the direction of the beeping because you will need to use echolocation in order to find out if you're heading in the right direction or not. In order to find the other anchors other than Anchor A, you will need to familiarize yourself of how the map works. There are 2 floors to door 150 and it is as follows based on the map. The red dots on this particular map represent possible anchor locations that are available to spawn. There are 11 total anchor points that can be seen on the map. The green spots represent vines that can cover certain areas which are used as shortcuts. This is the starting point where the main computer terminal and button is. For the ground floor map, certain anchors such as this one over here will need to be reached by means of a hidden hole in the ground. There will be a long corridor corridor in order to get there. This anchor, which is covered by 2 vines, is another one that is also accessible by the hole in the walls. If you manage to get to this anchor southwest of the main terminal, there is a secret shortcut you can take by walking over the border in order to head back to the main computer button. All other anchors are as normal, requiring doors that you need to open to get to them. As for floor 2 and door 150, the design is much more simpler and requires all anchor locations to be inside rooms with an enclosed door. As for the anchor themselves, it may be difficult to figure out the more complex math sticky notes that may show up towards the later stages. If you're at an anchor that isn't particularly safe, it's actually best to memorize the numbers and run to the safe spot in order to do your calculations. Then you can travel back and try again. Not only will you play it safer that way, but you'll also feel a lot less stressed about the whole scenario. Now with the map out of the way, let's talk about the Grumbles. There will be a maximum of 4 Grumbles roaming around, 2 that cycle around on each floor, though the map does suggest that Grumbles do have a way to travel between the floors if they do please. If you have any type of flashlight, you are able to slow them down as they don't like the brightness of the flash into their eyes. The use of light sources are actually nearly necessary in order to beat door 150, because without light sources, not only will the Grumbles be able to walk much more faster than the player, but due to the complexity of the map, it will make navigating the room much more difficult, even with the map guide on hand. There are also different types of Grumbles that can be pointed out. Patrol Grumbles are the ones that show up when you do the first couple anchors and successfully turn them on. The Crane Grumble comes out towards the end of the sequence of the anchors, and these variants are able to travel 150% faster than their patrol counterparts. The Crane Grumble is also able to instantly kill you upon hit, while Patrol Grumbles will only inflict about 50% damage when they do. Sometimes you may feel stuck as they may be camping in your location, especially if you're stuck on floor 2 around this anchor location. Just be patient and wait for the coast to be clear before heading out to check your surroundings. Pro strat: if you do see 2 Grumbles coming your way and you feel helpless, try and time their collisions and you may be lucky enough to survive, as they will both bonk their heads and turn around. Honestly, a very lucky moment if you ask me. Number 5, Damn Seek. This will be the final boss for the game, and along with the normal mechanics we've previously mentioned in the entity video, you'll really have to time the entity's attacks, especially when the Screech Worm starts jumping and attacking the player. Just make sure to perfect your jumps so that you don't drain your health in the goop, and keep an eye out for the red glowing circle which marks Seek's next trajectory. To be honest, Damn Seek shouldn't be as difficult as door 150, but if you're having trouble, just take it a bit slower and more controlled. Hopefully these tips help you out. Make sure to like and subscribe and share with a struggling friend.